Hey, what's going on, guys? Brandon here with Texas Plinking, and in this video I want to talk about concealable, relatively concealable, precision rifles, bolt action guns that can, for the most part, be kind of stowed away in a small bag. I made a video years ago called Backpack Sniper Rifle, and it was a larger backpack, to be fair, but it was a 16-inch barreled bolt gun, and I've always still been intrigued by that topic, and so I want to address it again, except this time instead of some gun that I kind of pieced together, I want to talk about a factory gun. That being said, inside this duffel bag is a new rifle, fresh from Brownells, and so I want to go ahead and introduce you guys to it and see what it can do today. Voila. So this is a Sig Cross from Sig C, and they make it in 6.5 and 308, but this one, to have it in the 16-inch barrel configuration, this one here is a 308. And so I'm pretty darn curious to see what its performance is all about once we stretch it to some distance. Off camera, I went ahead and zeroed it and shot a few groupings, and we're gonna go ahead and discuss that a little bit as well. But first off, I want to tell you guys a little bit about the gun and what I've added to it so far. We'll talk about the bipod in just a second, but for the sake of just keeping it lightweight and minimalistic initially, check this out. Like I said, 16-inch barrel, folding stock. The weight on this thing is just featherweight light. I don't know what it is without accessories, but I do know the way I have it just as you see it. That being my Vortex Razor LHT, that's the light hunting tactical. This is the 4.5 to 22 by 50. Great informative reticle, and it's on the first focal plane. So it's got all the features I want from like a precision scope, but it is featherweight light. So that with some Nightforce Ultralite rings, I think these are 1.125 inch, 30 mil rings. That, and then a little Picatinny rail slot here just for my quick detached bipod. The way you see it, oh, and of course the muzzle device. So the way you see it configured in my hands right now, it's 9.3 pounds. Again, that's with the optic and the rings, not too shabby. So in regards to the bipod, that's why I like to have it quick detached. So if I want to shed some weight real quickly, I could just do that real quick. But if I want to go ahead and use a bipod, an Atlas on an American Defense QD mount is nice for that reason. So there's that. And then the suppressor is a Huxwrx. This is the HXQD 762 Ti. So it's titanium, so it's not too heavy, but for obvious reasons, it's nice to shoot suppressed. And so when I sighted it in and did some groupings, it was in this configuration with the bipod and the suppressor. And in this configuration, in my case, it weighs 10.8 pounds. You could take that with a grain of salt because that was just me weighing it when I weighed myself on a scale and then myself without it. So anyway, I think it's 10.8 pounds. So there is the rifle configuration, and so I just wanted to get you guys caught up to speed real quickly. Before we get shooting, I want to give a big thanks to Brownells for supplying the rifle, as well as Silencer Shop for sponsoring this video. Again, I've mentioned them before because I've been using Silencer Shop for years and years, well before they were a sponsor. But genuinely, they make the ownership of this legal classification, whether it's short-barreled shotguns, short-barreled rifles, .386 machine guns, or of course suppressors. They make the whole legal road much more simplified. Now let's go ahead and discuss 100-yard performance with 5 different types of ammo. So real quick, I will say there are only 3-round groups. I know, not as cool as 5+, but this was just to get a quick baseline, because if it's going to be over 1 MOA with 3 rounds, it's just not worth it anymore shooting, in my opinion. So that being said, 3 rounds. First one was with this right here. This is Winchester M118 long range, service grade, 175 grain, hollow point, hotel hollow point from Winchester. And those 3 rounds were at just about 1.5 inches. Maybe if anything, just a hair under that. All right, to the right here was our next 3 rounds. This was with, once again, 175 grain open tip match. This is IMI Systems. I heard much better stuff about that, but nonetheless, this one was about the same, just under 1.5 inches, okay? Then we did this right here, the last of the 175 grain. This is Federal 175 Sierra Match King. Okay, so these 3 rounds, we had 2 stacking, and then 1 strung out, 1 inch on the dot. So 1 inch there. Okay, then we started going to the 168 grain. Back to Federal Gold Medal Match Sierra Match King, but just the 168s. And these 3 were fantastic. That sneaks just under 1/2 inch, just under 1/2 inch there. We go back to 168s with the Sierra Match King bullet. This is PMC X-Tech match loaded stuff though. Just over 1/2 inch, under 3/4. So yeah, also really good showing from 168s right there. And I was trying to source the interwebs for any video showing any accuracy with different kinds of ammo, and I couldn't really find much at all. Not in the 308 configuration anyway, so hopefully this is helpful. So now I know when I go home, I gotta order some more of the 168 Federal Sierra Match King rounds. Unfortunately, I don't have any more of that right now. I do have the 175 from Federal, So it didn't do as well, but that's what we're gonna use today, just to have more of that ammo when we stretch out to some distance. But maybe we'll readdress it later as well with only 168s. But let's go ahead and see how it fares. All right, first targets are gonna be at 526 yards. Got 5 rounds of the 175s loaded up in here. Forgot to mention as well, this takes the AICS compatible mags, but it comes with the P mag. I think it's a 5-rounder. All right, I threw in 4 mils of elevation. We'll see what happens. By the way, real nice action and real nice trigger from what I found out so far. All right. Let's just go ahead and start with the big target on the furthest right there. Let's go just center mass. I didn't get on target quick enough. This gun's so light. Let me back off on magnification. So it hit, I just don't know where. So let's go for the silhouette in the middle there. If anything, it's probably gonna be on the left edge because that wind, so I might favor right here. Damn, this gun is so lightweight, I swear, even at 12 power, I just jump off the target. I think it hit on the right edge. That looked like a good center splat. All right, again, this is 526 yards. To the left of that is a 8-inch gong. So just to give you perspective, let's go ahead and go for that. Again, I'm gonna go dead center here. I think that was just left of it. That's nice. Should I just do that again? Cool. The 175s weren't as sexy on paper, but paper accuracy and steel accuracy could be different things. So it's eating up these 175s pretty good. Not terribly long range though. Again, that's only 526. So let's try to find something a little bit further. All right, let's load up, what is that, 5 rounds? We're gonna go to 770 yards here. See what happens. Considering I was holding about 1/2 mil for wind, I might hold 3/4 here. Wind seems to die, so let's just see what happens. I didn't see anything there. Just hold dead on, maybe the wind's dead. Okay, just left of it. Now I see it. All right, so I must have held too much for the first shot. I'm just gonna hold right edge. Cool. The wind's picking up, I might just keep that hold. Barely got in there. I figured that was going to miss left. That wind started picking up and I thought I held enough, but I did not. Okay. I can tell when I'm missing targets and it's me or the gun. In this case, it is definitely me, so it's performing pretty darn well. Go, a couple consecutives. Let's see if we keep that going. Three in a row. That one was a center punch. Looks like it's holding steady now. To the right. All right. I gotta put some little wind flags down there. Help me out a little bit. We'll end on a hit for that range. Maybe we'll go just a little bit further. I put a new piece of steel out there. This one will be a little bit of a challenge. Got an 8-inch gong at 850 yards. So that one should be a good time. All right, let's just see what happens. Barely got on target quick enough to see. I think that went to the right, holding too much for wind there. All right, well, we killed it. I think now we got to go to 950 yards since I'm out of that target. All right, calculator is calling for 12.3, but that's been consistently low, so I probably have to knock my velocity down a little bit. But I am maxed out at 11.1, so let's just keep it at 11 to keep it easy. I'm gonna have to hold over, probably gonna have to hold over 1.5 mils, possibly close to 2 mils, to get me at 950 yards. Gonna go for the one on the very left there. Should have just said I was going for the one in the middle, but all right, still going for the one on the left. Now I know. Well, that's a good sign. We got a hit, and the target didn't die. I set that target up myself, so I'm not expecting much. All right, well, it died. I don't know if I hit the target or the T-post. The silhouette to the furthest on the right is a nice audible piece of steel. So let's go ahead and end with that one. There we go. I'm just gonna hold that much a bit higher and we'll just see where it lands. I held quite a bit higher and it kind of landed at the same elevation point. Okay, well, that being said, the gun is a featherweight light gun and it just shot through like quite a bit of ammo in a short period of time. So ultimately, I'm pretty impressed. Also, we were shooting the 175s, which showed to be about 1 MOA, or if not just a little bit more, at 100 yards. And if I were shooting that 168s, it would probably tighten that up by about half. So I'd probably have better luck that way. But nonetheless, I just was under the impression it was gonna be shooting better with the 175s. And so I brought more of that out, but my mistake, should have been prepared. Nonetheless, the Sig Cross is a pretty freaking sweet gun. Again, it's a 16-inch barrel. We're at 950 yards. And I'm sure if I was maybe pacing it a little bit better so it didn't get so toasted, I'm getting quite a bit of mirage off that suppressor too. So all things considered, I'm not terribly disappointed whatsoever. Again, 168s I think would have changed the game. But that does it for this video, guys. Again, I just wanted to kind of showcase a folding chassis 16-inch bolt gun because I think they're cool. But yeah, I might feature it again in the not too distant future. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time.